It's Brian. Hope you're doing well today. It is, I don't know what's going on with my voice, Thursday, the 9th of July. So just here for a quick update. We're going to keep it short. I'm a little bit early. I'm probably about 10 minutes earlier than I typically am, but let's just go ahead and knock it out, right? We're going to start with Forex, talk about what we're looking at there, what might be setting up for the morning breakout, and then we'll have a look at key levels in futures, and then we'll wrap it up there. I'm still not putting crypto back up because I've got TradingView running some scripts that I'm just kind of forward testing on those scripts to make sure that they're working the way I would expect them to from a signal perspective. And then, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. So anyway, let's start over here with Forex. What's going on? Well, let's start here with news. No high impact news coming up for the day. We do have unemployment claims here on in the U.S. That might be impactful. We'll see. Markets definitely are continuing to rally. So we'll see what the news of the unemployment claims brings for us here in just a bit. But ultimately, you know, as we keep saying over and over and over, you know, we trade what the charts show us, trade what's based on the charts. When we let our emotions get in the way, when we let our gut get in the way, when we let that personal bias get in the way, that's when we start making decisions that maybe aren't in our best interest, or we start holding on to things, right? Holding on to trades because we get so committed to it, right? If we're trading on that personal bias, or we're trading on what our gut says to do, and something that trade isn't going in our direction, we might tend to hold that for longer than we should because we have this personal attachment to it. So no matter what happens for the day, trade what the charts are showing us, you know, and keep it simple. So let's go ahead and do that. Over here on the Forex side of things, as we're getting going for the morning, we've still got about 6 minutes before the U.S. foreign exchange trading session begins. But just watching this morning, the euro has certainly been a weaker currency, although it's been flat. It really kind of flattened out over the last few hours here. But you know, Canadian has been a stronger currency. Just looking through at things we might be able to pair together and looking at some of the more active currencies over here just to see what might be out there. You know, looking at the euro versus the CAD, you know, that's moved 70 pips almost. Average is, you know, 30-day average is about 117, but if you look at the shorter term stuff, we're anywhere from 80 to 90 pips. So could it move? Yeah, it potentially could. You know, we could look to see if that's got some opportunity there for us. Of course, we'd want to be selling the euro and buying the CAD based on what we're seeing over here. You know, the CAD's been a stronger currency, euro's been a weaker currency, and right now it's rallying the other direction. So you know, it doesn't really quite fit what we'd want. What we would need to see there would be as the U.S. session gets going, we'd need to see the CAD start pushing to strength and have the euro push again to weakness. And as that occurred, we would need to have our volume detail flip over in the right direction for us as well in order to be able to play that breakout to the short side, selling the euro, buying the CAD. So that one doesn't really fit too well for us right now. Other things that are out there, CAD yen, CAD Oz, I mean, there's just, everything seems to be kind of consolidating coming into the new session. So until we get into the new session, there's really not a whole lot to look at for us here. Potentially the CAD versus the yen could be an opportunity, although they are both kind of flat. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen. Although they both kind of flat over here right now. You know, that's only moved 25 pips for the day, and averages, you know, that 60 to 80 range. So depending on how this plays out, there could be some opportunity there between the CAD and the yen. Now, there is some CAD news coming up right as the new session begins. I think 15 minutes in, there's some CAD housing news. So keep that in mind. If you're going to look for a CAD play, you might want to, it's kind of weird. I didn't touch anything and it just popped up over here. You might want to look for a CAD play, not want to. if you're looking at a Canadian play, you might just wait until the housing news comes out. I mean, it's listed as low impact, but you know, it could have a little bit of a volatility piece to it, especially if there's a big delta, a big difference between the forecast and the actual on that could be impactful to us. So I think for right now, just kind of play it safe, maybe wait a few minutes for that session to begin before you take anything based on the CAD. Just seeing what else is out here. Pound maybe versus the Aussie. Pound Aussie, yeah, potentially. I mean, it's moved 75 pips for the day. It only moved 70 pips yesterday, but the average is 100 to anywhere from 106 to 130. So could be some opportunity there, especially if we see that pound continue to push to strength. Of course, that one as well, looking at the pound Aussie, is kind of at a decision point here. It's not lining up quite like we'd like to see. However, we've still got some time left before the new session begins. And as the U.S. session comes online, if we see some buying in the pound, that can certainly push this higher. We need to see the volume detail flip over to show that we're in agreement with that buying bias on it, that long bias. But if this flips to green and we get a little push on the pound coming into the new session, this could certainly be one to watch for a breakout to the long side. It definitely has the potential on the range for it to move a little bit more, and it's a fairly volatile currency, typically fairly volatile pairing, so that could certainly be something for us to have a watch. So we'll see. We've still got a couple of minutes, another 2 minutes before the U.S. session begins here, but if that pound really takes off with the U.S. session beginning, that could be a great opportunity for us to buy the pound, sell the Aussie. So look at buying that pound Aussie pair on a breakout. So we'll see what happens there here in just a moment. Moving over to the futures side of things, starting with the S&P, big rally yesterday to end the day. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. Same with over here on the NASDAQ, just face-melting rally, pushed to all-time new highs, and still is pushing higher. So we'll see where that goes as the day moves on. But ultimately, where we are with the S&P is our bias on the 4 hours long, bias on the 30 minute is long. So we'd be looking for buy opportunities here. A couple ways to play this would be, breaks above, this level up here, which is about the 3167, 3168 area. If we can break above that, that would be certainly an opportunity for us to look to buy, which is also the key level back here. If we look at 3169, that's been established already on a 4 hour basis, so it's basically the same level we're looking at here. So if we can push up and break above that, we'd look to go long from there. The other thing to watch would be pullbacks, pulling back to this 3155, 3157 area certainly has been established as a support level as well. So, a couple ways to play that, looking for a breakout above 3170, 3169, or a pullback to this 3155, and then taking it long from there. The other way, obviously, is the method we've been talking about, which is on a little bit shorter term here, watching for lower highs, lower lows, and then as we break back to the long side above those lower highs, we continue to find that long trading opportunity. But we are still looking at long opportunities here. Like I said, my gut tells me I think we're gonna, this thing's gonna flip over on us. But we don't trade based on Brian's gut. Trade based on something quantifiable if you want to have consistent results. If you don't want to have consistent results and you want to just kind of wing it and throw money and at it, kind of take a gamble, that's another thing. But trading with the trend has typically been the way for long-term success out there. So would continue to look for long trading opportunities. The bias is long on both of these. Obviously, if you want to be contrarian and you're looking at this top edge at this 3170, 3180, if you're looking to be counter trend, you could certainly be selling those tops off of that, but do be prepared to be wrong. As with any, and same with going long, we have to be prepared to be long too, because it could just flip over on us and take us out. There isn't anything that's going to say this method's going to win today. No one knows. But historically, trading with the trend, the bias is long. We'd want to look for long opportunities. But if you're going to trade counter trend, just have a key level, identify that before the market starts. Don't try to start picking those levels as the session's going. Have a plan before the market begins and then trade that plan. But the plan for us, bias is long, it's all in agreement. Look for long opportunities, breaks above 3170 or pullbacks to this 3155 would be key levels to watch there. Looking over here at crude, same boat, long trading opportunities. We're 4 hours long, 30 minutes long as well. We've really been struggling with this 41 up here. Pushed yesterday, pushed straight up to 41 and repelled off of it. So we're looking again to see if we can find that long opportunity there. Pullbacks, we'd be looking back here, this 4080 or 4070 or breakouts to be above 4100 to see if it can continue higher off of that. And then on gold, we're also in a long bias here, 4 hours long, 30 minutes long. We broke above 1800, and that's certainly been key for us to get above that. Now, we're hanging out here at highs we haven't seen in a long time. So, it's kind of a no man's land. But for gold, pullbacks down here to 1810. It was a resistance point, and it's been, supported a little bit. It hasn't been retested that much. So, 1810, 1805 would be the areas to look to buy off of if we can't push any higher. Breaks above 1820 could certainly be a buying opportunity as well. Just some ideas out there around gold, but long is still the bias on gold for right now. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to hit crypto today. I've still got some things working with the script, the TradingView script. See how that's going. What it's doing is it's basically just giving indication or buy sell signals based on the trading plan that we've talked about, where if we're in an upward trend and we're trending up, we're looking for things during the regular trading hours to make lower highs and lower lows, and then setting our buying opportunities off of those lower highs for a breakout higher. Or if we're in a downward trend, we're waiting for it to pull back, making higher lows and higher highs, and then looking for it to break back short. And so I've got the script running. I've had it for about a day and a half now, and just making sure it's going to give the signals as it should. And it's looking like it's performing the way it's supposed to perform. I still have a little bit of tweak, I believe. I think that the programmer used a different moving average than I used, because they're not lining up exactly to what I have on my charts. But it's really minor. Like I've said before, any filter you put on your chart, whether it's a moving average or it's a trend line that you draw or a support level that you draw or anything else, they're just filters. It's not the end all be all. There is no perfect one. There's no perfect way. There's no perfect combination. They're all just filters to filter things down. So I think at the end of the day, it's not going to be hugely impactful to us. But I just want to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. And after I get it out for a week or so, I'll be able to pass it on and give you guys access to it as well. So that's it for now. I think we're going to wrap it up here and let you guys get back to your day, prepare for what's happening out there in your trading session. Just doing another quick look over here at Forex before things really get underway. As the new session began, we really haven't seen anything with any specific burst of volume or volatility. So it looks like it's going to be a fairly fairly tame morning, at least for a little bit. Maybe after the unemployment news, we'll see more activity. So just keep your eye on it. For Forex, just trade the variance between the strong currencies and weak currencies. Look for the ones that are actually moving and pair those together. For futures, I gave you some trading ideas for crude, gold, and the S&P. So from here, we'll just we'll let it go and see what happens. If we have a trade that lines up to what we've been watching for the trading account challenge, I'll talk about that, put it on, talk about it, and we'll move from there. So that's all I've got for you for today. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon.